the Engelbert is just not in a good spot. And we talked about it in a previous video, how Adam Silver came out and he kind of backed Kathy. Kathy also said in her public statement that she is not going anywhere. She's never been one to quit on anything, and she is going to build back the relationships that need to be mended.
The WNBA has officially slipped into full-scale panic mode. Sponsors are losing patience, executives are scrambling, and league headquarters is reportedly fielding non-stop calls in the middle of the night. All of this turmoil has been set off by one thing: the fallout surrounding Caitlin Clark. Millions of dollars are now said to be at risk. Sponsors are demanding explanations. They want accountability, and in some situations, they even want their investment returned. What started as controversy has now escalated into a full-blown crisis. You would expect a league that just welcomed the biggest star in women's basketball history to be celebrating, raising glasses, and embracing its success. Instead, the WNBA somehow mishandled the opportunity so badly that the companies funding the league are now asking for refunds. Take a moment to think about that. Refunds, not renegotiations, not discussions, refunds. That is a major warning sign, but here's where the story becomes even more fascinating. Sponsors didn't start pulling away because of Caitlin Clark. They became concerned because they believed she wasn't being utilized properly. She wasn't being protected. She wasn't being promoted the way a once-in-a-generation superstar deserves to be. That's the issue. At this point, this woman has alienated a significant part of her fan base. I posted about it on Twitter, and my timeline quickly filled with comments from people saying, "I'm done with her." Fans noticed it, brands noticed it, the entire sports world noticed it, and with every new controversy tied to her name, sponsors moved one step closer to walking away. Think about it for a moment. You're a major company. You've invested millions into a partnership with the WNBA because you believed in its future. You witnessed the ratings surge after Caitlin Clark entered the league. You saw the excitement, the attention, the rapid growth, and then you watched as the league allowed unnecessary drama to take the spotlight away from the game itself.
Energy out of the fans and is a devastating blow for not just the Fever and the WNBA, but the good news is her career is not over. But, you know, it's a tough blow when it all comes crashing down like that. And, you know, ever since Stephanie White's presser the other day, where she talked about how Clark had not taken practice contact.
You watched as the league's biggest attraction was treated like an afterthought. You watched the atmosphere shift from excitement to complete chaos. What would you have done? Exactly, you would have started asking questions, and that's exactly what happened. One major sponsor made a single phone call, just one. They said they needed to reevaluate their investment, and from that moment the domino effect began. It wasn't hundreds of sponsors walking away overnight, but it was dozens taking a second look. Dozens requesting meetings, dozens asking for transparency, dozens demanding hard numbers, dozens seeking firm guarantees. And what did the WNBA offer them in return? Silence, distance, uncertainty. Executives were caught off guard. No one seemed to know what to say, because when one sponsor starts pulling back, many others tend to follow. That's how business operates. That's how trust is built and how it's lost. Right now, the WNBA is watching that trust disappear in real time.
Numbers, when people talked about at the beginning of the season, the high tide lifts all boats or whatever, basically, like if you buy into this, everybody is going to eat. Yet you had people fighting tooth and nail the entire season, not wanting it to be this way because other people weren't getting flowers, or she was getting too much attention, or she gets a special whistle, or I'm gonna check her off the ball here just because. And then her teammate cheers for her for throwing her on the ground. It didn't get better. And it's disappointing to me because it's not every player in the WNBA. And I'm sure that there are many players who are happy to have her in the league. And it's like, if it was my league and somebody was coming in and bringing millions of people, like, I would be excited about that, because you know what? That's a chance for me to impress millions of people who weren't watching.
Now here's the part that stunned everyone in the room. Some sponsors reportedly raised one very simple question. If this partnership falls apart, what happens to the money? Refund, renegotiation, buyout. The one word that reportedly kept executives awake at night was refund. Millions of dollars are at stake. Millions the WNBA has no desire to give back. Because returning that money doesn't just represent a financial loss, it signals debt, an admission of failure, and proof that the league's critics were right all along.
Adam Silver has been seeing this nonsense just like all of us, and he's actually called certain things out. He's called things out like, yeah, Kathy needs to work to have a better relationship with the players. He said that. He's also said, yeah, it seems like things are getting a little bit like really personal. You know what I'm saying? It's getting real catty and personal, as things tend to get when women get to going back and forth and all of this stuff. Adam Silver stepping in and saying, hey, I'm going to make sure that there's a 2026 WNBA season. I'm going to make sure this CBA gets done, and I'm going to make sure it's fair for both parties.
Imagine being an executive at WNBA headquarters right now. You're reviewing contracts late into the night. Your phone won't stop ringing with calls you'd rather avoid. Adam Silver is on line 1, asking what exactly is happening. Kathy Engelbert is on line 2, trying to contain the crisis while the pressure keeps building. And sponsors are on line 3, demanding to know why their investment has turned into a public relations disaster. This isn't a hypothetical scenario. It's the reality the league is reportedly facing right now. Let's go back to where all of this began. Over the past few months, something remarkable unfolded behind the scenes. Brands that had once proudly supported the WNBA started raising difficult questions. Why did the league suddenly seem so disconnected? Why were television ratings slipping when they were expected to be soaring? Why was the momentum moving in the wrong direction? And every road of uncertainty kept leading back to one name, Caitlin Clark.
It's over. It's over. It's not a small thing for ownership to not back their representative. That's what a commissioner is primary, a spokesperson for the owners. Yikes. The WNBA's financial growth is incurring more favor for Engelbert in a sign that is much more than just typical player-owner tension. What Collier has exposed is that in her 6 years as commissioner, Engelbert hasn't amassed significant favor from either side of the proverbial aisle. So with the players or the owners, neither one of them are big fans of her. She's screwed. She's screwed. Chief among the complaints, according to multiple sources, are her people skills.
The woman who was expected to transform the league gradually became the center of one controversy after another. Not because of anything she had done wrong, but because of the way the league and certain players responded to her presence. Sponsors watched every moment unfold. They witnessed the ongoing narrative battles. They saw the backlash. They noticed the growing tension. They watched the unusual treatment she received both on and off the court. They saw controversy where there should have been celebration. They saw division where there should have been progress. And little by little, sponsors began pulling back. The WNBA wanted a superstar, and they got one in Caitlin Clark. Instead of fully embracing her success, the league allowed controversy and internal conflict to overshadow the opportunity. That is what has sponsors concerned, executives under pressure, and the league facing one of its biggest challenges in years. If you enjoyed this video and want more coverage of the biggest stories in professional sports, be sure to subscribe and join the community. Your support helps make these videos possible.